Just touched down, back on road. Counting money, man, you know how it goes. Hit the VIP and tell my bitch to strike a pose. Hop in mode, hop in mode. Just touched down, back on road. Counting money, man, you know how it goes. Hit the VIP and tell my bitch to strike a pose. Hop in mode, hop in mode.
Yo, coming to the Barcode Podcast, man. I got my blood cousin, Jermaine Ousley, a.k.a. Tree. Man, y'all all know that he's a monster for sure. But, man, we got North Division alumni. We got Tyler Junior College alumni. We got the University of Memphis alumni. And we got IBL professional for the San Diego Stingrays. Y'all give it up for my cousin and the one and only, Jermaine Ousley, man. Thank you for coming to the Barcode Podcast, man.
No problem, cuz. No problem.
Yeah,
Appreciate what you're doing, man. Appreciate what you're doing for the culture.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that, man. But before we start, cuz, I got a couple true, false questions. I got a few of them. Yeah, I'm gonna do like 3 of them, man. It's true or false. So the first one is nearly 3% of the ice in Antarctica glaciers is penguin urine.
False.
That's true, cuz.
I went to North Division, so if I get them wrong, I went to North Division.
No. You still went to college, cuz.
Don't matter. The basics is what started. The fundamentals.
All right, the second one. A snail can sleep for 3 months.
Guaranteed.
That's true?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's no, I'm sorry, cuz. I lied. That's false. No, snails, they can sleep up to 3 years.
Oh, yeah, that's some North Division shit right there.
Yeah.
I think I went to sleep for 3 years. I don't even know it.
Yeah. All right, last one, cuz. There is a world championship for throwing mobile phones.
False.
Damn, cuz. That's true.
Stop it.
Man, you know this world crazy as hell.
They had to create something for them.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I can go with it. I can get with it because I was telling somebody the other day, what the hell is pickleball? It's like, nah. It's like tennis with like big pads. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I had to create something for them.
Yeah, exactly, cuz. That's crazy. But man, let's get into it, man. Thank you so much, cuz, for participating in the true false questions. So I want to start off. Who gave you the name Tree? Where did that name come from?
Well, I wasn't necessarily given it. I pretty much emulated myself after Tree Gordon, who played for the Harlem Globetrotters. Tree, him and our cousin Rick Spicer played at Whitewater, but I used to go to the Warning games, and he played for Axon. And dude, all he used to do was dunk. Like when I say dunk, I'm talking about every time. Like every time I ain't never seen him do a layup from the time I was 8 years old until I was playing, you know what I'm saying, Warning, all the way up through 15, 17, 18, 20. And I took the name Tree during 15 to 17. So I like watching Tree Gordon. And
Yeah.
I was like, dog, you know, if it's anybody I ever wanted to be like, I want to be like him.
Tree Gordon. And we all know Jermaine Ousley, aka Tree, he most definitely dunked the ball a lot. So yeah. You definitely earned that name, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but so would you say that the name that you got from the Tree before you Would you say he influenced you to play sports, or it was somebody else who influenced you to play basketball?
Uh, we had I ain't gonna say we had. Our family is long, as far as basketball, and I had an uncle, my uncle Michael. Uh, he started us out playing basketball. Myself, my brother Pokey, my cousin Rodney, my cousin Wimp, Anthony, Tub. Like we all started playing, at an early age. I was playing uh 8 to 12. Well, 8 to 11. It was called 8 to 11 when Warren really, first really started getting his first beginning. But Atkinson Park was literally a block away from our house. So our grandmother could call, because we lived with our grandmother. Our grandmother could call us from her standing on the porch to the park, and we could hear our names being called. But we was at the park playing basketball from sun up to the street lights came on.
Mm-hmm.
So, basketball is in our genes. It's through and through.
Yeah, most definitely in our genes, dude. And you always had that toughness in your game. And I know you were in an era where I don't think AAU was alive then, correct?
It was.
It was.
That's where it was just coming around, because like I think during y'all era, I don't know if y'all had 19 and under
Yeah, we didn't
as
have that.
far as AAU.
No.
Okay. Well, my era AAU, you had to make it out of your region to go represent the state. It wasn't like somebody could just put together a team and, we go play all and, you get ranked and stuff like that. No, you had to represent your region. You had to win your region. Like we had to go through everybody to get to it.
Yeah. Would you say that was tougher? That was probably tougher to do, right?
It was. Um, it was tough because when you sit back and think about it, um, during my years at AAU, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't quote unquote the we was the bad news bears of AAU basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't the Calvin Rayfords, the Silas Mills, the Freddie Rileys. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't them. But the cats who I came with and who I played with for AAU, they were some dogs, some pure dogs.
Yeah. Would you say y'all was like the like the Detroit Pistons, like the shirt you got on? Were y'all them type of players? Y'all just play hard?
No, we played hard, basically. And on the flip side, now that you say that, yeah, because myself, Charles Poe, Mo Madison, we had some cats out of Racine. Like when I say we was literally the bad news bears of AAU basketball, like we ain't have nobody really like what nobody on that team that had a name other than Charles Poe.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I want to ask you this because the park, I know our parks in Milwaukee as a whole, we already a gritty, play aggressive, play hard, we talk shit, all that. Would you say you got your aggressiveness playing at the parks, or that's just how you was?
I wouldn't say necessarily that's how I was. I got my grittiness from my brother Pope. Pope used to, you know what I'm saying? Pope was a dog. And when I say Pope was a dog, my brother wasn't nothing but, you know what I'm saying? Pope 6'3". But he had a 46-inch vertical. And dog, he was just something different, man. And he used to whoop me. like daily. And I ain't talking about basketball. Even though he did that too, but I'm saying he used to whoop me physically. Like, put your hands up, we finna get it in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that came from.
Yeah, because man, you know you got that, and you know you got that picture painted. You got that picture painted of you from people from Milwaukee that you a dirty player or you a bully or whatever. So I'm glad that you was able to just share like where you got your toughness from, you know, playing at the parks and your brother, you know, beating you up and getting you tougher and stuff. And you just transitioned that, you know, into on the basketball court. So I do want to get into, you know, you going to North Division because of course we had many talks before, and you haven't you I think going into your freshman year, you didn't play high school ball right away, did you?
No, I didn't even play middle school basketball. You know, I was at Robert Fulton, which is King International now, but uh, when I wasn't at North Division my freshman year. I
Okay.
was at Washington when they won state with Cal, Silas, Boo. You know, I was there with them, and I just I could play basketball, and I would, you know, I'd go and play with them in after school gym, and you know all of that stuff prior to the season and stuff. You know, open gym coming up and stuff like that. But they knew me from Warning, and they didn't even know I was coming to Washington when I went to Washington my freshman year, and it was, you know, it was something, but I wasn't concentrating on being a basketball player or nothing like that. I was out in the streets. You know, I was a 6'6" Conti.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So when you went to Washington and the talent that you had, cause you didn't have like the coaches or your peers just trying to like motivate you to hoop or like, you know, come out for the team or
Oh, everybody knew. It was like everybody knew I could hoop. You know, everybody knew I could hoop. But um, I at that particular time, dude, man, I was just mad at the world. I didn't care about going to school, getting a 2 point, or none of that. I was just interested in being like quote unquote what you was talking about, tough guy. Like if somebody like I I was just enthused by fighting. Like,
yeah.
and I'm just being honest. And at that particular time, my freshman and sophomore year, because I went to Washington for 2 years until
Okay.
I got kicked out. I got kicked out for fighting. Uh, and that's how I ended up at North.
Okay. So then you get kicked out for fighting at Washington and now
Mm-hmm.
you go to North. Who put the bug in your ear to like what made you decide to start playing basketball at North?
Well, Gary Childs, and I don't know if you know Coach Childs. I don't know if you know Coach Childs or heard of Gary Childs or anything like that. Like MPS Recreation, uh, he was the man as far as North Division, Washington, Vincent, Custer. Them was all his schools as far as MPS Recreation.
No, okay.
And he was the one, you know, that grabbed me up by my collar and was like, dude, come on, you finna do something. You too good of a talent to just let it go to waste. And he was the one, you know, who, you know, he gave me a job and I had access to North Division gym. I done had access to North Division gym since I was 15 years old, open. So, but yeah, Gary Childs is the one who planted that seed.
Yeah, and it's man, it's so crazy because like I said, the talent that you have, bro, and you waited till your junior year to hoop. You know what I'm saying? So
Not
you
even my junior year, cuz
you only played 1 year, right?
I didn't even play a year. I played one mark period.
So what? Okay, because you got me
I
lost for
played
words.
six. I played 6 weeks of basketball for North Division.
Wow, hold on, cuz. So was it because of grades, fighting, suspended? Why did you only play that long?
Uh, it was grades. It wasn't like I couldn't get the grades or anything like that. Um, and here's another thing: we lived. The address for North Division is 1011 West Center, which is on the front.
Yeah, the
Our
front.
address was 2642 North 10th Street. It was right on the side of North Division. So I didn't have no reason to not go to school or
You
nothing.
just didn't want to.
I just didn't want to. Yeah. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of other stuff that was happening out in the streets and I wanted to be around.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you did go to North Division and you lived right on the side of North, did Mr. Childs come jack you up, knock on your house door, like get your butt to school, like, or you wasn't even at home then?
Well, it wasn't necessarily that. Coach Childs didn't have to come to the house, in order for us. You know what I'm saying? And I say us, I mean me and Pokey, because Pokey was a senior when I was a junior, and it wasn't like we necessarily needed somebody to come, to be that person to come get us up to go because we went to school. Well, I'm gonna say we got out the house because when Mama went to work, everybody had to go.
Yeah.
Everybody had to go, no matter what. I don't care what you did. She leave, you leaving too.
Yeah.
But there was another lady, man. Her name is Miss Oglesby, Francine Oglesby, man. Miss O. She like a mother to me. Uh, she she was really our motivation for getting up and going to school because you know she would come, ring the doorbell. Come on, time to go. She'd walk across the street, make sure we got up, came to school, stuff like that. Like I was a hall walker though.
Yeah. Even when you
And,
were in school, you was a hall walker.
yeah, I was a hall walker. Even when I was in school, I was a hall walker. And a lot of people, if people think about North Division and stuff like that, the best basketball players was walking in the halls of North Division. Never played.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and who, even though you didn't play that long, cuz who was still like, how was y'all as a team? Like, did y'all have some good players or?
Yeah. When I played, uh, and like I said, I only played I played you was right when you said I only played like 6 weeks for my junior year. It wasn't nobody but me and Eric Keeler.
I heard that name.
And uh yeah, Eric Keeler. Eric Keeler is the reason why you got the transfer rule.
Okay. And what was the transfer rule at that time? Was it the same one when I was
Eric
in high
Keeler
school?
is the one that is the reason why you cannot transfer as a junior in the city of Milwaukee for MPS. You can't transfer schools um, after your junior year.
I thought,
Uh,
oh, okay, go ahead.
no, I'm just gonna say Eric Keeler left North Division in the summer of '92 and transferred to Washington, and they won the state championship.
So after his junior year, he
Yeah,
transferred to
Washington.
Washington his senior year
Yep.
and won the state title.
And they won state. Him, Ewell, Omar, who else was on that team? Because they had a whip. I ain't gonna lie, Mo Madison, they had a whip. But from Eric transferring, that's where the MPS transfer rule first came into play when Eric Keeler, and a lot of people think because it's Corey Lucius and
Yeah.
other stuff. No, Eric Keeler is the reason why y'all got that transfer rule.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Because yeah, when I was in high school, like I think I could have transferred. If I transfer after my sophomore year, I think I have to sit out a year.
Yeah.
And then I only would have been able to play like my senior year, I believe, right?
But back in the day, you could transfer willy-nilly.
Yeah. So I can go to Washington my freshman year, Vincent sophomore year,
Yep.
Madison, and then Custer.
And keep on playing.
But then when Eric Keeler did that, he ruffled a lot of feathers.
Oh no, that you disrupted the powers that be.
Mm-hmm.
And we gonna fix it. It's just as simple as somebody making laws up.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. No, y'all gonna stop this.
Yeah, y'all gonna stop this. And
yeah,
they not playing, you know what I'm saying? So it's all right. And I'm glad that you brought this up, not to get off topic too much, but how do you feel about that transfer portal when it comes to like the college? You heard about that? You been hearing about that?
Yeah, I do. I know about it. I wish I would have been able to get into that because I think later on when we get to talking, it's gonna come into play. But I think it's a good thing for what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing. When I was at the University of Memphis, we couldn't do that.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, my bad, cuz we definitely gonna talk about that when that time comes. So, dude, you go to Washington for 2 years, you go to North Division for 2, and you barely got a basketball resume in middle school or high school. You only got 6
No
weeks.
resume.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
my resume.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, that's me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just gonna say. So, how did you going to Tyler Junior College? How did that come about?
Playing warning. I got recruited by Rick Majerus when I was playing warning. I ain't even gonna stay playing at North Division. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that came to me came from warning. That was cats played high school basketball during the season and stuff like that. And I played Muni from the time I was in high school. Like I played Muni League with adult grown men from the time I was 14, and even playing at, when I played at North Division and stuff. Washington, I played Muni and stuff. So a lot of that stuff, like, I ain't gonna say coach. It wasn't no coaches coming to watch old men at Muni and stuff like that. But that's where I was at, and a lot of my stuff came from warning.
Okay.
And Rick Majerus was the first person to really see me play basketball because he used to have us come down to Marquette, play against Marquette Cats, Maul McCaskill, Jim McLevain, Ronnie Eford, Tone Miller, and all these cats and stuff like that. But people used to think I played for Marquette. And no, we ain't nothing but like 17, 18 years old. So, and I went to a junior college prior to going to Tyler. I went to Albany in Albany, Illinois.
Now, go ahead, cuz, my B.
No, it ain't you. I see you had something you need to say, but
I
went to Albany, Illinois. Yeah. And for a kid out of Milwaukee, you know, city kid going to a small junior college in a small town, dog, that ain't it. It was the worst thing that could have happened to me. It was a culture shock, and for what they was asking of me had never been asked of me. And what I mean by that, go to class every day, go to practice. It was like they was telling me to walk a line, and I didn't know how to do that at the time. And I left. But I didn't understand or know that as soon as you go to a school,
that first day you ever go to class,
yeah,
that's when your 5 years to play for start ticking.
And no one told you this while being.
Nobody never told me that. Yeah, nobody never told me that.
Okay, so you come back home. And you chilling.
Yeah, I'm sitting around chilling. And at that time, that was when warning was going from 18 to 20. And at that time, I wasn't nothing but 19. So I came back to the crib and was just hooping around, playing in different leagues. And AAU was still going on because I was 19. So they was 19 and under. And so that was my last year of AAU.
Mm-hmm.
And I just happened. We played the Nationals in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a fucking game against Corliss Williamson. And I don't know if you know who Corliss Williamson is.
I remember him. Yeah, I remember Corliss.
Okay. Yeah. Arkansas, Sacramento Kings, and you know, he was a part of that with Todd Daynham and all that stuff. But I tore off in his ass.
Yeah.
And when I say tore off in his ass, like, that was the first time I had ever had like 15 dunks in one game.
Oh, what you was doing, catching lobs, just running the break?
Lobs, catching it off the rim, running the floor a lot, because at that time I really couldn't do nothing else. I ain't had no jump shot. I ain't had no post game. It was just natural athletic ability.
Wow. So after you kicked Corliss Williamson ass, that's when Tyler came into play?
No, that's not even when Tyler came into play.
Okay.
I didn't go to junior college at Tyler, like, so you can picture this. This is the layoff. From the time I left Albany Junior College, which is at 19, I didn't go to JUCO until I was 21.
So your clock was ticking for 2 years.
Yep.
Wow, cuz. And you were still doing the same stuff in Milwaukee as far as playing in Muni, playing in Warren, playing in all that type of stuff.
And playing in all that stuff. And then the summer of summer of '94, we went to the Jerry Mullins camp.
Okay.
Jerry Smith Sr., little Jerry daddy, who went to Louisville, and his daddy. He used to take a bunch of kids, you know what I'm saying, down to Oral Roberts University to go to this junior college camp and stuff. And so we went. Myself, Tone Mayfield, Andre Broughton. It was a bunch of us. He had took down there. And Jerry, you know, Mr. Smith, man, God bless him. Man, he was something. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have no kids at the time, none. Like, little Jerry was born. I'll take that back because we used to have to take his little badass with us everywhere. That's why he a dog. But he took us down to Oral Roberts University to Jerry Mullins Junior College camp. And because when I say I put on a show, I put on a show for Gene Cady, Pat Kennedy, Bobby Huggins, Rick Pitino, Tubby Smith. Like, all these people was at the junior college camp. And I was down there putting on a show. But I wasn't at nobody's school.
Wow. So after while you putting on this show, are they coming, are they talking to you, or what, like, what's going on? Like,
yeah, they was, but I went down there just to play.
Yeah,
it wasn't like my main focus was to, like, man, yeah, I'm finna go to college or something like that. And not to say it to be, you know, demeaning or anything like that. That was the furthest thing from my mind at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I came back to the crib and was sitting around doing nothing, the same thing. And by then, you know, I'm 20, about to turn 21. And at that time, we had met this white lady named Dawn Hayden. And she had moved us from out the city. Myself, Tone Mayfield, Gangster Pat, Quincy, like it was a bunch of us, and these my guys and stuff. But she had moved us out the city and moved us into her house in Cedarburg.
You said 2021, right?
Yep. But she had moved us out, like, we grown. We super grown. And this white lady, man, little bitty white lady, man, God bless her soul. She moved us out of the city to her house in Cedarburg. And dog, even Big Roger Johnson, Big Rod,
Mm-hmm.
Rod was out there. Man, it was a bunch of us. Like, she got 6 full-grown black dudes living in her house with her 5 white kids. So, yeah, it was one of them. But the one thing she used to do, she used to take us around the city and videotape us playing basketball and stuff. Like, even when we went down to Marquette and stuff like that, she used to videotape every time we played against Marquette players or anything like that. And so probably like around December, Tone Mayfield had caught a scholarship to go to Tyler because they needed a point guard. So Dawn sent Tone to Tyler. And Tone, I guess the videotape that they had put together or whatever of us playing and stuff, Tone and the head coach of Tyler at that time, Coach Reich, they was just looking at it, sitting in the office looking at it. And Coach Wright was like, damn, dude, man, Marquette gonna have a hell of a player this year, dude, man. That damn athlete, who the hell is that out there? And Tom was like, you don't play for Marquette? That's my nigga, Jermaine. That's my guy, Jermaine.
Yeah.
And he was like, what you mean that's your guy? And he was like, man, that's my guy, Jermaine. He was like, man, he at the crib. I can call him right now. It was like, man, call him right now, man. Tell him we got a scholarship for him. Right now, today. And that was on a Thursday. I was at Tyler Saturday morning. They offered me a scholarship that night. I signed it, faxed it back, and I was at the school on Saturday with 2 pair of pants, 2 shirts, and 2 pair of shoes.
Yeah. You was on the first train smoking, cuz?
I was on the first, man. They flew me right out there. Flew me right out there. And it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Because I was too far away from home to leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Chicago, you turning right back around. All right, going right back around.
Yeah, I go right across the border. But Texas, nah, it was just too far.
Yeah.
And it was the best move I could have ever made, man, going to Tyler. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And the one thing that happened while I was at Tyler, I was able, and a lot of people don't understand this, because I was just used to playing like open basketball. Wasn't no structure or none of that. You know, we had coaches, but they wasn't really no coaches. I was able to sit out from January during that spring semester of 94 going into 95. I was able to sit out and learn the game. Practicing and getting, you know, I absorbed a lot of stuff during that time and learning, you know, what basketball was and how to play it. And going to Tyler was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Yeah. And that's good. And before we go deeper into the Tyler situation, with you being older and moving out to Cedarburg and staying with Dawn, do you feel like she opened your eyes up to see different things? Or you just like, oh, I'm out here away from the city?
Oh, no. She showed me that, you know what I'm saying? It was better for me. And I had to want better for myself. Because what I was doing running city, like, dude, man, you ain't got to be doing that. You know, you got a chance to be somebody to contribute to society. Like, you got a chance to be different, man. The world is bigger than 99. That's what she showed us, or showed me. Yeah.
Say something, cuz you kind of it's going in and out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like jumpy, my B. I was making sure. I want to make sure I hear you too, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'm making sure. Still jumpy. All right, so dude, you sit out that year, cuz, and you like finally 20, 21 years old, learning the game of basketball. Now that upcoming season at Tyler, how was that season for you? How was it actually playing, like doing a scouting report, running plays now, and all that type of stuff?
It was, I'm not even gonna lie. It was easy.
All right, so you sit out that year and you learn the game of basketball, right? And then
Yep.
going into your first upcoming season at Tyler, how did it go for you?
Because it wasn't I was a monster. It wasn't nothing nobody could do with me. I ain't care who you was or, you know, the names that was coming out. And, you know, we was in Texas, like, and at that time, that was, you know, that was a time Texas JUCOs was everything. You know, you had Larry Johnson, Sean Kemp, like all these cats was coming out of them JUCOs there. And my freshman year, I had a monster year. I was the #1 JUCO player in the nation at Tyler, my freshman year. And it was like, didn't nobody, they had never seen nothing or, you know, like me. It was like, you know, that was when, you know, I don't mean, Vince Carter and them, you know, like throw the ball anywhere, he gonna catch it. It didn't matter. It was like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my freshman year, if I could have came out of JUCO my freshman year, in which I could have, in which I should have did it, and not even played no more basketball at that level or none of that. I should have did it at that time. That's how hot I was.
#1 in the nation, cuz.
I was the #1 JUCO player in the country.
And here we are. Here you are telling your story about not playing middle school basketball, not playing high school, playing Muni, playing Warning, finally learning the game, and then your first year playing organized basketball in the tough era, tough conference. You the #1 player in the JUCO and had a chance to go to the NBA?
After my freshman year at JUCO, yeah, I was like, I had agents calling me in my room, calling Tone. Like, I still got the letter to this day. And I show it to you and stuff like that, because I kept stuff like this. I got a letter from Jerry Krause with the Bulls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jerry Krause.
Inviting me to come up to one of their camps.
What was your numbers looking like, cuz your first year playing at Tyler?
26 and 13. That year, we went to the Nationals for JUCO up in Kansas, up in Hutchinson, Kansas. And when I went there, oh my God, I put on a show.
Yeah.
And when I say I put on a show, cuz I'm talking about I put on a show for everybody who was there. And those games up in Kansas, even there, it just wasn't none of them could do. Because I had by that time, like that was in March. I had learned the game. I knew what I could do and what I couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Like they really didn't know nothing about throwing the ball off the backboard, going to get it and dunk. Like I was doing that like 3 times a game.
Man, cuz I need to see them highlights, dog. Oh, another thing too. Who were some of the players that you played against? Was there any like
Man,
big, yeah.
Ruben Patterson, Sean McPherson, Sean Marion. Like, I ain't playing against no slaw. It wasn't like I was playing against no garbage. You know? it was some big name cats in JUCO, that Horatio Webster, Dietrich White. Like it was some cats that was some dogs. Like you had to come play every night.
Every night, yeah. So after your freshman year, you number one player in JUCO. Do you go to Memphis right after, or you go back to Tyler and tear it up again?
I went back to Tyler and tore it up again.
Now, why did you go back to Tyler? You didn't have no offers after being number one in the nation?
At that time, you had to understand. So if I would have entered, because I was thinking about entering my name in the draft. And at that time, if you entered your name in the draft and you didn't get chose, you couldn't go to Division One.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that with the agent or without an agent? That's with the agent, though, right?
It was with or without. It was with or without. If you declared for the draft during that time, and I was in JUCO, you couldn't go Division One after that.
Wow. Okay.
Like you had to go D2, NAIA, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I let my coach talk me into coming back.
And I was gonna ask you about that. Like, because going back is almost like, okay, yeah, I was number one in the nation. I did my thing, but do I really trust and believe that I can get drafted or go to the NBA? But like you just said, your coach convinced you. So how did second season go for you?
My second season wasn't as good as my first, because you know we even though with that particular team we brought everybody came back. We didn't have no sophomores on that team. We had it was 13 freshmen on that team. And 13 players my sophomore year, all 13 players went Division One.
So it wasn't no 13-man rotation, though, was it?
No, it wasn't a 13-man rotation. It was probably we went about 10 deep.
And everybody on the roster went Division One.
I can name you every school everybody went to on that team.
I want to hear it right now, cuz. I mean, I ain't doubting it. I believe it, but.
No, but I'm just going to tell you. Tom Mayfield went to Purdue. Damon Freeman went to TCU. Stephen Eldridge went to Fresno State. Jeff Gibson went to Baylor. I went to Memphis. Rob Turner went to Indiana. Cornelius Osborne went to UNLV. Antoine Tate went to Alabama State. Eleron Guetta went to UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio. Little Rudy Roberson, he went to St. Mary's. Jason Porostowski went to Texas. He went to the University of Texas. Scott Cross went to UT Arlington, and Billy Henderson went to Southern Miss.
Every last one of y'all went Division One. Now, so are you around this time? Cause are you now taking basketball serious now? Are you like?
Oh yeah, I was taking it serious then. Like my sophomore year, I really took it serious.
Okay.
I took it serious my freshman year at Tyler, but at that time, I was still trying to fight to get that 5th year back. Because when I was I only had 4 years left. I only had 4. So I was fighting in my sophomore year to try to get that 5th year back. And NCAA just kept denying me. It was like, nigga, your clock started.
They don't play that. When your clock start, that bad boy start, don't it?
Oh yeah, most definitely it starts. But during my sophomore, we didn't have the success during my sophomore year as we did in our freshman year. And you know, we had some stuff that happened, players getting caught doing stuff, and you know, it just wasn't the same as our freshman year because it was like we had been given too much at one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know, it was like we was the only thing that was happening in that town.
Yeah, it was the basketball. And Tyler,
Yeah.
how far is Tyler from like Houston and Austin?
Houston is like 3 hours. Dallas is 2 hours. Houston is 3 hours. Like, but you know, Tyler is, you know, it's a place that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was coming up at that time when I was there.
Yeah.
And stuff. Like, even, you know, I don't think much changed even when Jimmy Butler was there.
Yeah. Because that is
even when he was young.
Yeah, because the school you went to is the same school that Jimmy Butler went to, correct? Yeah, that is Tyler. Yeah, Tyler Junior College.
Yep, and that's where he's from. He's from Tyler. But it's a hick town. As we would say, it's a hick town or whatever. Us coming from the city or whatever, but yeah. But even, you know, being there and not having the same success that we had, you know, during our freshman year, we still had a decent year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now let me ask you this, cuz now you've been running the streets your whole life. You was getting in fights. You left another junior college because you know you had a culture shock. What made Tyler so different? Like, how was your off the court? Like, how was Jermaine off the court?
If I didn't have Tone Mayfield, Tone was my, like, Tone was my dude. Tone was like, you know, not to say I had a handler or something like that, but you know how you had the devil sitting on your shoulder and the angel sitting on your shoulder? Tone was on both of my shoulders. Tone kept me grounded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Tone was the one. And big ups to Tone Mayfield, man, because if it wasn't for dude, man, I would have never went to college.
Damn. That's some shit to say for real, cuz you know, you just clearly said earlier the coach thought, like, oh man, Marquette's gonna have one hell of a player, and Tone is like, man, that's my boy. He at the crib, like, and got you, you know what I'm saying? Got you situated to come out there, bro, and put on the show and play wonderful at Tyler, you know, made history. But before you left Tyler, though, what did you make? I don't know how it was back then, but did you have like all area, city, like what all accolades?
We had all region, all conference, JUCO All American. Like I whatever for JUCO at that time, as far as accolades. For the 2 years I was in JUCO, I got all of that. I just didn't get Player of the Year my sophomore year.
That's it. How did that make you feel? How did that make you feel?
I understood. Because at that time, that's when my back problem started.
You still got them back problems, cuz.
Yeah.
And that started back then?
That started at JUCO.
Did you fall hard or something, or landed weird, or what?
No, repetitive jumping.
Yeah.
You know, it caused the discs in my back to bulge. But that started in JUCO.
Okay, started in JUCO. All right.
Yeah.
So once you do your 2 years at Tyler, what all schools were offering you a full scholarship? I mean, you just named all 13 players. I'm pretty sure you remember all your schools.
I got recruited by everybody except for North Carolina and Duke. And I'm not exaggerating.
Because at the time, Bob Huggins was at Cincinnati, right?
Guaranteed.
Now, I only brought up Bob Huggins. One, I love him as a coach. Two, Cincinnati always had them dog type players, and you like fit in perfect with them. Why didn't you choose?
Go ahead.
I said, why didn't you choose Cincinnati but chose Memphis?
This is where the ALUMNI stuff comes. Remember the first JUCO I went to, right?
Yeah.
Bobby Huggins had that coach on his staff. His name at that time, his name was Jeff Schimberg. He had him on his staff. That's the only reason why I didn't go to Cincinnati.
But you still had a chance to go to Cincinnati, though.
Yeah. Bobby Huggins recruited me up until the day I signed with Memphis.
But you just didn't choose that school because the junior
I
college.
told him if he needed to fire him. If you fire Jeff Schimberg, I sign. Because you know, BJ Ward went there from Milwaukee. You know, BJ went to Cincinnati. Well, you probably don't know because BJ older than me. But BJ Ward, he went to Cincinnati. He's from Milwaukee.
Okay.
You know, he was talking to me and stuff like, Jermaine, you need to go ahead and sign. You need to go ahead and sign. Man, this is gonna be the best thing for you. No, man, he got that mark on his team. And I just can't do it.
Yeah, I respect it.
Do it. And I tell you, Lute Olson, man, he came to see me, and that's the one mistake that I made that I regret. You know, with basketball. When Lute Olson came to see me on their way to the Elite Eight in San Antonio, he came to see me at Tyler. And he tried to get me to sign with Arizona then. And I wish I would have signed, but it's other stuff that come into play with a situation like that. But you know, me and you will talk about that. I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But Lute Olson, man, I had, man, Gene Cady, Bobby Knight. Like, I had an array of coaches, John Thompson, Steve Fisher. Like, I had a plate.
And you chose Memphis. Why you choose Memphis?
It was 8 hours away from home, and I got to play at home against Marquette.
Okay.
The family got to come see me.
Yeah.
You know, the whole hood got to come see me play. You know, I was able to represent because up until that time, even when I signed at Memphis, you know, a lot of people don't know, like, we signed with Coach Finch. And when you was asking me about that portal stuff,
yeah.
So Coach Finch recruited us. He signed us, right? They bought out his contract, and we got a new coach. So we can't leave.
So you signed with Death Row.
Basically. So we signed already. And at that time, Coach Finch had signed he had the #1 recruiting class in the country because he signed the one, like Omar, my friend Omar Sneed, during our sophomore year, he was the #1 JUCO player in the country. I was the #2 JUCO player in the country, and Detrick Golden was the #3 JUCO player in the country.
And y'all all signed with Memphis.
All three of us signed with Memphis.
So when y'all sign and the coach leave, are y'all like what's going? Well, I know you probably don't know what's going through their head, but are y'all talking amongst each other like, "Oh, I'm gone," or you giving a new coach?
Like, man, we not staying. We not staying, man, because we wasn't trying to play for him. We trying to play for legendary Coach Finch, who had Penny, Renzen Wright, Mike Wilson, Elliot Perry. You know, he's a legendary coach, dude, man. It wasn't no way one of us out of that group wasn't gonna go with him being the coach.
One of y'all was gonna go.
Yeah, because he promised that. He promised that. He was like, man, even if y'all don't play basketball after this, y'all gonna do something here in Memphis that's gonna give you longevity.
Dang.
And to not be able to play for Coach Finch and to have to play for Tick Price? Come on, man. This dude coming from the University of New Orleans.
Wow. So how was your relationship with that coach, the incoming coach?
I really didn't have a good relationship with Coach Price. Coach Price, when I was at Memphis, I didn't have a good relationship with him, but I did have a great relationship with Johnny Jones. Okay. Coach Jones had Shaq at LSU.
Okay.
And he was one of our assistants that was there. And Coach Jones, it was like, and this is how messed up basketball is. Like, I was so good at my position as a power forward that they switched me over at Memphis to a center.
How did you feel about that?
I was pissed.
That's what I'm saying.
I was pissed. That it just changed it changed my whole game. You know, I was still able at Memphis. I'm not gonna say I had a bad career at Memphis. You know, even though I battled my back problems and stuff. You know, because my junior year at Memphis, I played that entire year with 2 bulging discs. Whoa. I didn't have the surgery.
Okay, got you.
Because if I would have sat out and had the surgery, I couldn't get that year back. Remember, that's how that whole thing comes into play. That 5 years, you get 5 years to play for.
They wouldn't have counted that as like a red shirt year or injury?
They wasn't doing that at the time because you already used your red shirt year when you walked in that classroom at ALUMNI.
Wow. Okay, I see.
And that's what a lot of people don't get. You know, it was just the time and the rules at that time. It was just different, cuz.
Yeah, I'm already knowing. So, dude, they switch you to the center spot. How was your performance? How was your performance then? You know, moving to the center spot. Like, did you feel like you was getting the numbers you were supposed to be getting at Memphis, or?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just imagine you going from scoring in junior college, you averaging 26 points a damn game. To go down to just scoring 10. My numbers overall for Memphis was 10, 9, and 3. 3 blocks a game.
Wow.
And just to put it in perspective, I had the whole Escalade.
Oh, big Escalade from New York. Ain't that Mark Jackson, brother?
Jackson, little brother. He played for Louisville.
He sure did. Wow.
So imagine that.
Yeah.
I had the whole dude.
Mm-hmm. Now, with being in that conference, cuz how many, like, what were some of the tough players you had to play against in teams?
Man, Kenyon Martin, Ruben Patterson, Flight White, Francisco Elson, who played for the Sacramento Kings. Man, especially Escalade. Man, it was a lot. But see, even and we jumped around like, like I had to in JUCO, I had to play against Steve Francis now. Him, Alex Scales, like they was on the same team. Can you imagine that backcourt?
Yeah, yeah.
Steve
Scales.
Francis, Alex Scales at the same time.
Yeah, Scales, that's the guy from like Racine or something, right?
He's from Racine, yeah.
He's from Racine. Wow.
Yep. And Alex is here.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, okay.
But yeah, like we had to deal with that. But those are some of the people, like I say, and when we played Cincinnati, coming from Memphis, it's like Bobby Huggins sicked them on me. Jason Alexander, Kenyon Martin. It was like, dog, man, he don't let dude do nothing. But every time I played against them, dude, man, it was 20, 2010. Like, man, even though, because my whole junior year for Memphis, I practiced 3 times.
Oh, because you're back, right? Or no?
Yep. Other than that, I was in the swimming pool or riding the bike.
Just riding the bike. What would you say your best game since you've been at Memphis, your 2 years being at Memphis? What'd you say your best game? Highest scoring, where you put on the show?
I would have to say playing against Tulane. When I played against Tulane, it was just different because playing against Tulane gave you a warning field.
Mm.
They crowds was different. They represented for they school. People, they came out for those particular games. And I had a night against Tulane. And it's what's so funny about it, and I'm gonna tell you this, and it was the worst insult I ever got in my life. This little old white lady, we was coming out the tunnel, and she looked at me, and she was like, "There go the Burger King All-American." And I looked at her, I was like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, you're the Burger King All-American." And I'm like, "Man, they ain't got no damn Burger King game." I was like, "Man, oh yeah." It was like, "Dog, you called me the Burger King All-American. All right. I got something for you." She called me a Burger King All-American.
And you put on a show.
Showed out. I got video for that one. I got footage of that one. When that little old white lady called me the Burger King All-American dude, man, she set it off.
Yeah.
Because I was laughing, but you know, if you really sit back and think about it, that was a good insult. You little old white lady.
That actually was a good one.
Yeah.
Here I am in my head saying, "Oh, I can start saying people was the Wendy All-American, the Wendy's All-American."
Man, that little old lady, man, called me a Burger King All-American, and I went out that day, man, dude. I put on a show.
Now, cuz I do want to ask you this too, though. Now, coming up, you wasn't in school a lot. You skipping, just didn't want to go. How was it for you at Memphis, being at a big university, them big classrooms? Like, how did you stay on top of your schoolwork and stuff?
Penny told me if you go to class every day, you can get a C just for showing up. And he said if you do a little bit of work, you can get a B. If you did every assignment that was on the syllabus, you're going to get an A just because you're an athlete. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm just telling you the truth. But Penny told me that. He was like, Jermaine, if you go to school class every day, you're going to get a C.
Now, what year is Penny and what year are you?
I'm 97. Penny
92.
Penny was 94.
94. Okay, I said 92. Okay.
Yeah, Penny was 94.
Yeah. Now, what was them conversations like, you know, when Penny used to come back to Memphis? Like, what words of encouragement he had for y'all?
Penny really didn't have no words of encouragement. I played on 2 summer league teams with Penny, and they had a similar basketball summer league like we did, but theirs was just indoor. They had something called the Bluff City Classic. And like everybody from Memphis played in it. Deuce Ford, Elliot Perry, Dwight Stewart, Corey Bullock, Todd Day. And a lot of people don't even know Todd Day is from Memphis.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Todd from Memphis, Penny, Mike Wilson, Lorenzen Wright, Chris Gardner. Like, dude, it was just like they summer league was just stupid. And you know, Penny just used to tell me, he was like, dog, man, wherever I throw it to, man, just go get it.
Yeah.
You know, Penny was the first real person. Like, I'm from Milwaukee. Penny was the first person that took me out to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. And I'm like, man, come on. For real? This what we doing?
Yeah.
If you want this, you got to work hard for it. That was the only thing he ever said to me.
And you think with him saying that, that motivated you even more to go to the NBA or try to go to the NBA?
It did, but it didn't, because what I was dealing with, Q, after my junior year at Memphis, I had my surgery during that summer. And prior to my surgery, even with the 2 bulging discs, I still had like a 45-inch vertical. And after I had the surgery, it went down to a 40. And I didn't know how to compensate and rebuild myself. And so, no, man, boy,
Yeah, take your
Uh,
time, cuz. Take your time. Take your time.
yeah, dog, during that time, I didn't know how to overcome that. I didn't know how to overcome that, dude, man. And that was just it put me in a bad space
Mm-hmm.
as far as basketball. Not being able to do what you could do prior to you having a particular surgery. And that's another reason why, like, I hate why Dwight Howard get the flack that he get. We both had the same injury. And it's like you had to reinvent yourself
Mm-hmm.
to
Dang.
something different that you ain't used to.
Yeah. Man.
And that was it was hard. It's hard.
Yeah. So man, thank you for sharing that, cuz you got me emotional too. Man,
Yeah.
just thinking about it, man. But you get the surgery. You get the surgery. You finish up at Memphis. Is the NBA still in your mind? And if it wasn't, is that when your mindset start, I got to play professional somewhere else and make money?
So when I was done at Memphis, when May 11th hit, well, prior to May or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
after the season was over with, wasn't no more going to class. We wasn't going to classes and stuff no more. We cut it short. It was over with.
Yeah.
Wasn't no going to class, man. We trying to go be professionals. So after that was over with, I signed with Penny guy. His name was Tim Jumper,
Okay.
agent. Signed with him. Gave me 50,000 off the front, off the top. As soon as I signed, gave me 50,000.
And how old are you at this time?
I was 24.
24 years
No,
old.
I was 20. I was 25. I was 25. I take that back. I was 25.
But
At
even
Memphis, I was 25 years old.
yeah, but still 25, 50,000. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
So at that time, Jumper gave me, we working out and, doing what you're supposed to do prior to NBA draft and all of that stuff. And he sent me out to Washington, D.C. Because they had just they were starting an inaugural league for the IBL, the International Basketball League. But it's in the States, though.
Okay.
It's in the States. And so I go out to Washington, D.C. It was a bunch of people out there for this league. It was like a bunch of NBA cats who fell off and was out the league, and new cats who was going, and me, and Steve Francis. Steve Francis from that side. Me, him, Omar Sneed, Big Dink Peters. It was a bunch of us. We out there at this camp, and I had one breakout game at this camp, and where I had like 7 dunks in this one game. And it was like, we need to see him again. But my agent at that time, Tim Jumper, he was like, Jermaine, don't play no more games. He was like, that's it. We shutting you down. You got a hurt ankle. He was like, I guarantee you gonna get selected in this draft. And we'll see what happened with the league or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. No problem. That was on a Wednesday. They had their draft on that Saturday. And I got drafted the 4th pick in their inaugural draft. I went number 4.
After that one game you played.
After that one game, I had played in 2 games prior, but I didn't have a game like I did that particular one.
Okay.
And I showed out. I had a nice game. But them 7 dunks, the coach for us who scouted me and stuff, his name was Smokey Gaines. I'd never forget, dude. He was so real. He was a black dude.
Mm-hmm.
Real, though. But he was like, and excuse my French, he was like, you the runningest nigga I ever seen in my life. It was just something different. And he was like, man, I promise you, when we get our pick, he was like, I'm taking you. And he took me the 4th pick in that first draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now back then, cuz did the IBL kind of work like the NBA as far as like contracts and stuff? Like y'all got paid for that, of course, right?
Yeah, most definitely, guaranteed. I got 75,000 from them.
The value of money back then, that's a lot of money.
It was. And dude, I was able to do some good shit with that money. And for my mama, and you know, as far as getting her a house and stuff like that, like I was able to do some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And take care of my daughter, and my son at the time. I was able to do some good stuff.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the money that I had got from the agent, you know, he took his 4% right off the top.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned, like when I got that first 50 from him and he took his 4%, I learned then that my brother-in-law is a lawyer. I can get him $500 just to look over this contract, dude, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he got the 4% from that 75, right?
He got the 4%, yeah, from 75. Yeah.
75. Okay.
But on this next trip, because they only did yearly contracts at that time.
I like the yearly contract. I know you enjoyed that, right? Or you didn't really like that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely I did. Most definitely I did. From 99 till 02, 75 a year. Yeah, it was beautiful.
That's good stuff, cuz.
It was beautiful at the time. And not to say, man, dude, man, I was trying to make it to the league. I was trying. But to not be able to play the same way you did, you know, at the height of your game, it do something to you.
Mm-hmm.
It totally do something to you. And to have to change yourself when you know where you came from, it's a shock to the system.
Yeah, most definitely. And just the overall story, cuz like, you know, and I really mean this, and I ain't saying this because we family. Just the overall story, dude, is really amazing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you didn't have much experience playing basketball. You was running the streets, and look how you turned your life around, though, Tree. You feel what I'm saying? You wound up going to college, you know, learning the correct way, going to class, staying out of trouble, learning the game of basketball, getting your schooling paid for, able to play professional, get paid, and get your mama a house. I say you winning. I say you winning, right, cuz?
And even so with that, you know, I remember when the inaugural league for the D League came in.
Mm-hmm.
My my girl Tiff, her daddy, man, he tried to get me to go to the D League and do that. And at that particular time, I don't know how some people feel about basketball who done played at a, you know what I'm saying, an elite level. And to come back and have to play and be mediocre, I wasn't willing to do that. Could I have asked her dad to help me? Yeah, most definitely. But I always felt if I couldn't do it on my own, you know, it wasn't meant for me to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up, because if you want to share how much Mr. Lanier was for you or to you, yeah, to you, like, because a lot of people don't know that you know Bob Lanier, you know. So if you want to let people know, yeah.
Well, my thing with that situation, and I ain't gonna say situation because I've been with his daughter for 28 years. You know, me and her, and especially Mr. Lanier, I think he respected me more for not asking him to help me. And I even told him this, like, dude, I don't want your help. You know what I'm saying? But your daughter ain't gonna never struggle or none of that. It ain't like he had to help us or do anything for us or anything like that. And that was always an avenue for her. And not to say it wasn't for me, but Mr. Lanier was just a stomp down, hard man. He was just real. And I'd never let people know or say, oh, yeah, that's my father-in-law, or I go with Bob Lanier's daughter, like, or anything like that. I didn't never, like, how would you feel somebody introducing you like, oh, this Bob Lanier's daughter, dog?
Yeah.
Like, I got a name.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like, we never did that, man. And, you know, something like that, man, a girl from Mequon chose me from 9th and Atkinson. And I met her in the parking lot at North Division at a warning game. So, you know, cuz it is what it is, but just to come back to the basketball stuff, man, it was a humbling experience for me. Even to where I came from and where I'm at right now, you know, basketball did a lot for me. I'm humbled to be a part of this fraternity. And, you know, there are some things that I wish I could change and go back and do different. But every fight that I ever had, I do not regret. Because one thing for damn certain, if you did something to me, I'm going to whoop your
ass. That's true, y'all. That ain't Jermaine. That's true right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, cuz I appreciate you taking us on your journey, dude. It was very, very interesting to peel some layers back and get deep in there, and you share your story, because, you know, sometimes it's hard for all of us to share our story. So for you to come to the Barcode podcast and share your story with your little cousin, I appreciate that, and it means a lot, because I know what you got going on, and you took the time out your day to pull up. But before we leave, I do have one more thing to do.
Already know.
Okay.
What?
So I'm gonna name 10 players.
Okay.
I'm gonna pair them up, and you just pick.
Okay.
Dupree Fletcher, Draylon Barnes.
Draylon.
Okay. Trey Jefferson, Billy MEMPHIS.
Lil Billy.
Okay. Jerry Smith, Ricky Franklin.
Ooh, wee. Ah. Sorry, Jerry. Ricky Franklin.
Cause you crazy, though. Jermaine Ousley or Tree?
I'll take Tree.
Cause I love you. Thank you for participating. Thank you for coming to the show, man. Man, for sure. Man, listen, cuz I love you. You know that. Thank you so much coming to the platform, man. And I tell people all the time, though, Tree, you know, we have this talk many a times, and I just want to give back, you know, to you guys, our city, our community, and Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we always have the short end of the stick when it comes to sports. You know, because when it comes to Wisconsin, people always think it's beer, cheese, white folks, and ain't no black folks there. You know what I'm
We
saying?
ride horses.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So for you to come to the platform, man, and share your story, you know, I hope whatever young man that's in college right now, these kids that's in high school, middle school, elementary, tuning in to the show so they can know their history and know why and know who opened them gates up for Milwaukee basketball. You know what I'm saying? And you're part of that.
Most definitely. I always tell cats, man, listen, I didn't go to school and do it the right way or none of that. Like, I didn't graduate from North Division. I had to go back, get my GED. And, man, there's always a way, man. And no matter where you at, man, if you good enough, they going to come find you.
Yeah. That's true, cuz. And man, you know, I'm gonna be over there tomorrow. I might just pull up today, man, because I do want to watch some film, man. So
I don't care, man. You know, I got this damn VHS. I think I'm the only nigga in the city who got a VHS still.
Okay, love, cuz. We out, baby.
All right, love. Be safe.
All right, you too.
All right.
Just touched down, back on road, counting money, man, you know how it goes. Hit the VIP and tell my bitch to strike a pose. Hop in mode.